Hi, my wonderful crochet friends. So this is the boho style fall purse that you all are going to learn how to make. It is fairly simple. We got optional fringe here, and we got our bobble stitches. It's a lot of fun making this. So let's begin. Hi, my wonderful crochet friends. My name is Ashley. In today's tutorial, we are going to be making a really super cute fall purse. So this is the front panel, this is the back panel. They are both identical, and I want to give you a really close look at this. Look how cute. So for the pattern, you can leave it just like this and sew up each side, and of course have the strap, so just picture that. Or you can add fringe right here at the bottom and make it kind of look like an upside down rainbow. Like, I don't know if you all have seen bags like that, but I think they are adorable. So this is going to be fairly simple. These bobbles here are extended single crochets. Isn't that cute? And it only takes one ball of yarn. So this yarn here, I love this yarn. Oh, it's not I love this yarn, but I'm just saying I love this yarn. This yarn is actually LionBrand Hometown USA. And it's a bulky 6-weight yarn. Look at that bright gold. Like, great for fall. Like, this is going to look amazing. So this is a bulky 6-weight yarn. So if you want to substitute, make sure you get a bulky 6-weight yarn. I know Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee has a yarn similar to this yarn, but this yarn, you can probably pick this up anywhere, really. So it's LionBrand Hometown USA in the color Madison, and you only need one ball of yarn. So we'll be able to make both panels, front and back, and we'll be able to make our beautiful strap. And this is how much I have left over. So I have this much left over after making all of this, and I will probably, more than likely, use this leftover yarn to make little fringes down at the bottom. So I was thinking maybe about like that wide. So in each of these chains have fringes coming down, and then stitch up the front and back panel, and then add on our strap at the top. And I put this up against me, and I think this would look good over the shoulder and as what is that called? A sling. So you can use it as a sling purse, over the shoulder purse. This is going to look great. So just get you one ball of this and you'll be good. And also we will be using an 8mm crochet hook. And this is just a aluminum boy brand crochet hook. And of course we will need our scissors, and to sew up our panels we will need a large eye yarn needle. Also, one more thing that you will need for your pattern is a measuring tape or a ruler. We will need this to measure out our strap for our purse. To begin, we do not need a really long yarn tail, so just a regular size yarn tail will be fine just to weave it in. So we will begin with a slip knot. And again, we're using the 8mm crochet hook for the bulky 6 chunky yarn. So for row 1, we will need to chain 11 chains. We will be making extended single crochets, and we also will be working into the back bumps of our chains. And it is very important that we work into the back bump. It's actually quite essential. So our back bumps here, so when you're looking at the front of your chains, you will turn and you will see that bump right there. These are the back bumps of our chains. And it is very important that we work into these back bumps for this crochet pattern. So we will turn, and also we are working into the second chain. So this chain right here, so we're just going to turn our chain. We're just going to turn, but that's the first chain and this is the second chain. So we will go into the back bump of that second chain. We are going to go up and yarn over. We're going to pull that through our stitch and up. And instead of grabbing this and yarning over and pulling through both loops for a single crochet, we will yarn over and only pull through one loop. And now we have 2 loops on our hook, and we have this little chain here that we created. Now we will go up, yarn over, and pull that through those 2 loops. We are going to repeat this all the way across into each back bump. So on this next back bump here, we will yarn over and pull that through and up. Go up, yarn over, pull through 1, and go up and yarn over, and then pull through both loops. And that makes a really nice, pretty, extended single crochet. So I'm just going to go into the next back bump, and I'm going to repeat. Very fun. Here's my last chain. I'm just going to pull this up so I can remove my hook to create a large loop so I don't lose my place. So here is what our work looks like so far. And it's very pretty stacked single crochets here. They're a little bit taller than regular single crochets. And they have these really nice stacked little chains. Well, they look like chains. Very nice. So we have 9 extended single crochets for row 1. So for row 2, what we will do is we will just turn our work. So we will not be chaining 1 and turn. So we will just finish our stitch and then just turn our work. So for row 2, in the same chain here, we are going to make 1 extended single crochet. And our same chain is right here in this gap under that chain. So I will go into that chain, and I will go up, and I will pull it up and make 1 extended single crochet. We will repeat 1 extended single crochet in each of the 8 chains. So this last chain, we will work 1 extended single crochet in the first 8 chains. In this last chain, we will make 2 extended single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I've made 4 so far. It's 5. 6. 7. And 8. In this last chain here, we will make 2 extended single crochets. That's 1. And that's 2. Now we will work along the opposite side here in these foundation chains that we started for row 1. So we will go this way and then this way. So since we are going like this, we are going to need to increase again. So we put 1 increase in the 9th stitch, and now we will work right here. This will be our first stitch, and then working all the way across into those chains. So in this first stitch here, I will insert my hook under that chain, and I am going to make 2 extended single crochets. That's 1. And that's 2. And for each chain, going all the way down until the last chain, we will just make one extended single crochet. And this is what our work will look like so far. So to begin the next row, we will not be chaining. We will just turn our work. In the same chain here, we are going to make one extended single crochet. In the next 8 chains, we will make one extended single crochet. We should have 9 extended single crochets. In the next 4 chains, we will make an increase in each of those chains. So for the next 4 chains, we will make 2 extended single crochets. For the rest of the chains for this row, we will make 1 extended single crochet in each. I have 1 more chain left here. And this is what our work looks like so far. We are going to we are going to turn without chaining. And this row is where we will make our extended single crochet popcorn bobbles. So in the same chain here, this very first chain, we will make 1 extended single crochet. And the next chain, we will make our popcorn bobble. So we will make 3 extended single crochets all in the same chain. It's 1, 2, and 3. After you make your 3 extended single crochets in that same chain, we are just going to pull up a loop. We're going to take our hook. We're going to count 1, 2, 3. We're going to insert in that 3rd chain away. We will take this loop and we will place it over our hook. We will take this finger and just hold. Then we will take the working yarn and pull. We will pinch and we will pull this loop on our hook through this chain. So we're going to grab that loop and pull that through that chain. We will chain 1 to secure that bobble. Next, the very next chain here, we'll get 1 extended single crochet. So we will repeat our pattern. We will make 1 extended single crochet. The next chain, that 3 extended single crochet popcorn bobble. It's 1, 2, and 3. Pull that up, count over 3, insert our hook into that 3rd chain over, take our loop, wrap it around that hook, pinch, pull our yarn tail, pinch here and grab that loop, pull that through that chain, and then chain 1. We will repeat this all the way around. Next chain, 1 extended single crochet. Next chain, 3 extended single crochet popcorn bobble. Pull our loop up, count over 3, insert our hook to that 3rd chain, wrap that loop around our hook, pinch with our finger, and pull the working yarn. Pinch, grab that loop, and pull that through that chain, and then chain 1. Continue to repeat this all the way around until your last chain. And go ahead and take a look at these bobbles. Look how cute. Very cute little bobbles. Go ahead and finish that up, and I will meet you back at the end. And this is what our project looks like so far. I've already finished my last popcorn bobble. Now, this time we will chain one and turn. So we will chain one, we will turn our work, and now we will make one extended single crochet in each chain all the way around. So the same chain here, we will go into, and we will make one extended single crochet. This next chain here, one extended single crochet. This right here is a chain. That is the chain one to the bobble. So we will just get right in there and make one extended single crochet. Next chain, one extended single crochet. So we're just going to repeat this in each chain all the way around. Continue all the way around, and I will meet you back at the very end. So here we are. I just finished the one extended single crochet in each chain. If you flip it over, then you will see this will be our beautiful front of our purse. So you'll see these beautiful baubles here. Very, very beautiful. So for the next row, we will not be chaining one. So we will just go ahead and turn our work. In the same chain here, we will make one extended single crochet. In the next 13 chains, we will make one extended single crochet in each chain. So in the next 13, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. In our next chain, we will make 2 extended single crochets. So we are increasing right here where it curves at the tip. Next chain will be 1 single crochet, or 1 extended single crochet, I'm sorry. Our next chain will be 2 extended single crochets. Our next chain will be 1 extended single crochet. Our next chain will be 2 extended single crochets. Our next chain will be 1 extended single crochet, and the next chain will be 2 extended single crochets. Oops. In the remainder of our chains, we will make 1 extended single crochet in each chain. And here is what our work looks like so far. So this will be the front of the purse. So to start the next row, we will not be chaining, so we will just turn our work. And we will be single crocheting in the back loop only. We are going to skip our same chain and go into the second chain. Here's the front of our chain and the back of our chain. So we will skip the same chain. We will go into this chain right here. And you will see that there is 2 loops. So here's the front loop, which is closest to you, and the back loop is the one furthest away from you. So what we will be doing is we will go into that back loop, skip the same chain, and go into the back loop, and we will make a single crochet. We will repeat this all the way around. So we are single crocheting in the back loop only, all the way around until the end. Continue on. And I will meet you all back at the end. When you reach the end and you have 1 chain left, what we are going to do is we're just going to slip stitch into that chain. Now we are finished with our panel. Now we need to make another identical panel just like this. Make sure that you cut at least, at least 30 to 40 inch long yarn tail, because we will need this long yarn tail to stitch our purse together. So here is what we crocheted with those pretty bobbles there. Isn't that neat? It's gonna be so pretty. So yeah, so this is gonna be like the best, easiest crochet purse that you'll ever make. So go ahead and make your second panel and meet me back for the next step. Now it is time for us to make our strap for our purse. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab your measuring tape, and I want you to measure from your front of your waist, and I want you to measure across around your neck and around to the back of your waist for a crossbody. And that should be good for the shoulder length as well. That way you can wear it for both, for over the shoulder and also for the crossbody look. So we are going to make these really pretty, they're like knit-like stitches, but this is an I-cord. And I am going to show you a really easy trick and a really easy way for making this. So what we will do is we're going to need enough yarn tail to attach each end of our strap to our purse. So you want to make sure there's a good enough length for that. We're going to make a slip knot. And don't worry, the way I'm going to show you how to do this, it's going to be really neat. So, and I'm using the same size hook, the 8mm, but if you would like to use a smaller hook, that's fine. Mine are not really tight stitches, but after you work them up over and over and over, it's got a nice bounce and a nice stretch. So I think this will be a more comfortable way using the 8mm, but hey, if you like tight stitches and you don't want all that bounce, then using a smaller hook like a size 6, that would be good. This is a J10 6mm. That would be also really good too. Now, so we want to make this up for the length for your body type. So, and what I mean is use that measuring tape. You know, measure the length that's good for you. Now, if you want this to only go over your shoulder, then that's fine as well. You know, going around the chest and around the back probably would be a few inches longer than just going from waist around the shoulder to the back of the waist. So what we are going to do is, now this trick that I'm going to show you, this easy way, definitely works well with crocheting like I am. And I'll show you. So I'm in position to crochet, and I'm just going to use this thumb and this finger. So these two fingers are going to hold my working yarn, and then I will use this thumb and finger to pinch and to maneuver. So what we will do is we will go like this when we're crocheting, and I'll show you. So we are going to chain 2. So we have our 2 chains. Now I'm going to go back into that very first chain. So each chain is made up of 3 loops. So you have this loop here, and you have this loop here, and then you have that back bump. So those are 3 loops. So you want to go in, and you want to go around in between that chain, but you want to go in to where the 2 loops are facing you. And then you got just that 1 loop on the back. So you always want to make sure when you go back into your chain, make sure you have your 2 loops. So we're going to go up, and we're going to grab that yarn and pull that through that chain, just like that. What we're going to do is after you go in through that chain and pull up a loop, and you have these 2 loops on your hook, now we're going to go in, and we're just going to grab that first loop. Then we're going to go up. We're going to chain 1. Then we're going to go back into that loop. chain one. We're just going to keep doing this. And we chain one with that loop. So basically we're maneuvering and we're chaining one with each loop that's attached. And I grab that loop again, chain one, put that loop back on my hook, chain one, grab that loop, remove it, chain one, put it back on my hook, go through that first loop, chain one, just like that. Isn't that neat? So let's do it again. Just in case I didn't teach it good enough. So we're going to make that slip knot. I think it's kind of neat, you know, just going from one loop to the other. So we got our slip knot, and I'm just taking this finger, that finger right there, and I'm just going boom, just like that. And I'm holding this finger and thumb right here. Chain one and two. Two chains, go back into that chain, yarn over, pull through that. It's attached really well. So I'm just gonna reach up and grab that loop. Oops, I need that to focus real quick. Come on, camera, focus, focus. There we go. So I'm holding that loop, and I'm just going to grab that yarn, pull it through that loop. Now I'm going to attach back on to that. And then I'm going to pull through one loop. Reach up. I'm going to grab that loop. Oops, I don't think I got a good grip on it. There we go. It's okay. I still got it. Grab that loop. Chain one. Put it back on there. Chain one. Grab that first loop. Chain one. Put it back on there. Chain one. Grab that first loop. Chain one. Put that loop back on the hook. Chain one. And as you work it up, it might look a little loose and a little sloppy, but trust me, if you just keep on going, keep on going. Do, 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 do. There we go. And you seriously get used to reaching in the front and grabbing that loop pretty easily. I think it's kind of fun. Yep. There we go. So you just give it a nice little tug while it's still on your hook, and it just kind of all, you know, kind of stretches and pulls together, and there we go. Look at that. It's like that all the way around. Look at that. Like perfect. all the way around. Isn't that neat? So, and like if you want to remove your hook, you can always, if you want, I don't know if this stitch marker will be big enough because this yarn's chunky. I mean, you could, like if you want to take a break, you could just do like that. You know, that way it doesn't come undone or anything. And then pick up, you know, in a little bit after you take a break. And so I just crocheted this up. Let's see, how long did I do mine? Okay, I did mine for 54 inches. But I'm like a size large. So, and I also I wrap this around my body and I kind of put the panels up against it just so I could look at it and, you know, get a feel for what it'll look like once it's all put together and stuff. And I think this is going to be beautiful. Like this is going to look great without the fringe. But if you like the upside down rainbow look, you can definitely add the fringe. So like the scraps that I got, so you will use pretty much all of one row. So these panels here, so this is the front and this is the other panel. It's the inside, so the bobbles are out on the back. And so my plan is, so you see how when you look up on the inside, so the bobbles are here. So on the back side here, we have these free loops. Let's see, where's my hook? So here's the chain that we will put our panel together. So what we'll do is this very last row, we are going to join with a yarn needle. But before we do that, if we look at the front here and we say, okay, I want my fringe from like here to here, or yeah, that would be good. Okay, so from there to let's see, that should be good. I like that. From like there to there. What we could do is we'll lift it up, and you can choose to do this on one side or the other. I'm just gonna put that there, or you can use stitch markers. We don't need that front one. So what my plan is, you see these loops here. We can put fringe right there and have the fringe coming down and then sew it together. Or you can put the fringe on, you know, the last row. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. So let's see the fringe. Oops. Okay, so the fringe, I'm thinking 9 inches. So when you take a ruler or measuring tape and you have it folded in half, so you take it like that and then like that and then clip it. So with it folded 9 inches, I think that would be good. So, and this is just an idea. I think this would look pretty cool. So I have it folded here. What I'm thinking of going into that back loop, and kind of get it to where you can pull that through. And it's kind of like a macrame knot. And look at that. So it's attached, but it's attached to that loop right here. And then when we attach our piece, we can attach it to where we'll go around. So like when we sew it in a minute, we'll join both sides together, and we get right to here, we'll just go over it. We'll just go over that fringe, and then that fringe will be there. So you can add fringe to each side. So you can add it to these front loops here on this panel and on this panel. That way you'll have plenty of fringe. So let's try that. So let's see. So I attached right here. So let's go. I'll tell you where I attached at. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I attached on the 15th one. So if we do this same thing on this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So here's my next 15th one. That way it's even on both sides. So let's do that again. Let's take our, now you want to do this after you make your strap. That way you got enough, yarn to put your purse together. And then you're using the extra pieces. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so I want to take it, and I want to make sure that I got 9. So and you can always trim it too, so you can always put it on there. And that's just a really old ruler that I've had for a long time. I don't like getting rid of my rulers because what if my measuring tape goes missing? You know, that happens. I end up losing measuring tapes, crochet hooks, like everything. So I'm going to go into that loop, and I have it folded already. So I'm just going to put it right there like that and pull that out and grab that. And then pull. And then I got my fringe. And then I'm just going to do that again. Actually, what I just did, that was easier. Okay, so, and I'm not sponsored by this bank or anything. I think this bank's actually closed down. I don't think this bank is no longer in service. So what I'm doing is I'm just going straight across like that. See? That way I don't have to fiddle with it for a long time. And then now I'm just going to go to that next loop. And so I'm just going to go across. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's 10 loops on this side, and then I'll do it the same thing on this other panel, 10 loops in the same spot. So just count down to 15 on each side. Yeah, so I'll meet you back in a minute when I finish putting these on so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so I put those all across there, but I kind of feel like I need to put maybe a few more. Maybe go up 2 on this side and 3 on this side to try to, or maybe just 2. So I'm thinking maybe when you count from the tops, count down to 12 or 13 instead of 15, because well, I mean, it's ultimately up to you. This actually looks like it needs 1 more, so I must have counted wrong. So I think, and then 1 more here would even it out. So I don't know, it's up to you. And if you want to do both sides, or if you just want to leave it only on one, you know, that doesn't look bad at all. So it's totally up to you what you want to do. So let's see, it looks like I need to add, I don't know, maybe 1 and then maybe 2. And then I'll meet you back. All right, guys, so I'm back. So I adjusted it to where how I felt like it needed to be, you know. And honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave fringe on one side and not on both sides, but it's totally up to you what you want to do. So these are actually what we just did here. Those are actually macrame knots. Well, it's a macrame technique where you fold it and you put it in and you open up the loop and grab the 2 yarn ends and pull them through. So now when I was a macrame artist, what a lot of us would do with fringe is you can dip your ends in glue, like some good strong glue, like about that much, or wax, or we can just knot it, or just leave it and let these just unravel and fringe out more. So it's totally up to you. But I think what I'm gonna do is, so I'm gonna try to pull mine out flat and then trim them all up, like trim them straight across, and then I think I'm gonna put a knot on them. So after I get these pretty straight to cut and trim down, which actually, you know what, we'll do that after we sew the panel together. Then we'll worry about cutting these or putting knots on them or whatever we want to do. So, but this purse looks great without the fringe. Like when I tried it on, I was like, oh yeah, like it looked great. So you don't have to put this fringe on, but if you want to make this for like a little girl, you know, like a little teenage girl, because you know it's not real big. You know, it's not. Um, let's see. So just straight across is 7. It's only 7 inches. The purse is only going to be 7 inches. So you can make this for a little girl, a teenage girl, for you, whatever you want to do. You know, so so the plan is we're gonna stitch the 2 panels together first, and that actually looks good, doesn't it? So we're gonna, yeah, that's what we're gonna do first. So grab your yarn needle, and we are going to get this put together, and then at the end we'll worry about attaching our strap. All right, guys, so now it's time to sew up our panel. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take um, the longest yarn tail on one side, and which is why we need that 30 to 40 inch yarn tail. And mine's 30 inches, and that's why I said 30 to 40, because I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have enough, but um, I do have this much left, and that should be enough in case I run out. I can just grab some more and put my yarn needle on it. And that's why I said also you will use pretty much this entire one row. So yeah, that's definitely enough for extra sewing. Or um, if I want to add um, the the fringe on the other side. So, and I also wanted to show you, I use just regular Elmer's glue, you know, like kids school glue, and I glued this end and then I clipped it. So that's what you can do. If you have, I would use clear glue. So that's what I did right here. Is if I can get that to focus, that's what I did. Is I just took some glue, just rubbed it on it, let it dry overnight, and then just clipped off the end that doesn't look so nice. So hopefully that helps, but honestly, I think I'm just going to put a small knot at the end of my fringe like that. So either way, it's up to you. You know what you want to do. Get a little crafty. Use some glue. That way, these don't unravel, and so. But anyway, so I'm going to use my 30-inch yarn tail, and then just put that other yarn in out of the way. And so we're just going to grab both panels and try to line them up the best we can. And this extra yarn tail I can use to close this up better if I need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the front loop of this one, back loop of this one is what I'm going to do. So here's my chain from that single crochet. So I'm just going to go in this way and into the back loop this way. And then hopefully that gives a nice secure way. If you know another way that will give you a better closing sewing seam, then definitely do that. So I'm just going to go in through that back one and in through that front one, just like that. That way it kind of looks like this. And then in a minute, we'll get down here to the fringe, and hopefully the idea I have, hopefully it works out. Usually my ideas always work out. That's what I'm shooting for. And I think this color is going to look great for Thanksgiving. It's still fall time, so I'm planning on rocking this for Thanksgiving holiday. I think it's neat. You know, it's a beautiful handmade crochet purse. I think everybody will definitely like it a lot. And if I have to, I'll use both on each side. So we'll have two 30-inch, so I can go down halfway for each side if I need to. I just wanted to make sure that we would have enough so we didn't have to use two balls, you know. I'd hate to have to, you know, buy another ball just to sew it up, you know. So I was trying to think of the best way to have enough yarn for both. So here we are, we're at this first fringe. So I'm just going to tuck it over just like that. I'm just going to go, well, so I'm going to go around it. So here's the next loop, and I'm just going to go in just like that and leave that out. And then here's the other one. So now I'm going to go in through the back loop of this one. I'm just going to move that over and go into the front loop of that one. So you see, that way, because I did not want to sew this up and then put these knots on the bottom of it to where it have these big knots. So that's why I chose to do it like this. So now I'm going to have to lift this one up, going through the front loop of this one. And then the back loop of this one. See, and that is tightening that up enough to where there's that fringe. So yeah, so my idea worked out good. So now I need to go into this one, back loop of this one. Move that over. Go down into the front loop of that one. And just give it a nice tug. So now here's our next one. I'm just going to push it over, go into the front loop. Let's see, did I go through this one already? Just move those out of the way. I think it's this one. And go into this one. Put that one out of the way, and then go into the front loop down there. So yeah, so by doing this, I'm working around those fringes to close this up. And I think you all will probably be able to do the rest of this without me. And that's all we're doing. And then the next one would be this one. And move that out of the way. and then go into front loop of the bottom. Move that out of the way, that way y'all can get a good look. So there we go. So look, it's seamed up and our yarn tails are attached. These fringe yarn tails are attached on the inside and it's closed up. And that one's just from up here. So those are locked in there. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. So just go ahead and finish up the remainder. And then after that, you'll just continue to go into, you know, the back loop of this one and the front loop of this one. And that way, you all got a better look at it. Like this is going to look good. So I will meet you all back after here, and then I'll just show you again for a few. And then we will attach our straps. And I wanted to show you all, so I just got done sewing the fringe, but when I held it up to look at it, it looked like this one had maybe one or two extra on this side, and I don't know if it just looked that way because of just the way we moved them out of the way and shifted them. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to add one or two more right here, and I will show you. Or actually, here's another idea. I can probably just remove these because honestly, I want the fringe to be right at the bottom instead of going up on the sides like that. So, and I just wanted to show you all, you know, I don't want you all to sew it all the way up and then end up having it look a little lopsided. We don't want that. So look, here we go. We can easily, there's that first one. Look at that. We can just pull it right out. No problem. So just check yours before you sew it all the way up. Make sure yours looks even because you know you want this to look really good. So, and I haven't sewn up this side yet, but good thing that I didn't. And I'm just gonna have it like this, let it fall off my table. It still looks like I need to remove one more. So I was probably right the first time when I said go into count 15 down and go into the 15th one because I ended up adding more. But just make sure after you sew around your fringe, lay it down, look at it real good, hold it up because I held it up and let the fringe fall so I can see if it was perfectly lined up or not. And that's when I was like, oh, hold on, this doesn't look quite even. All right, that looks better. It looks better. Still, this one, I want to remove one more because I want this to look good. I want compliments, you know. Sorry, I got a cold. Compliments. I want compliments when I show up at my friend's house and my family's house. There we go. That there, I think is good. I almost feel like, I think that's good. I think I just had it over too much. Okay, now that we got that fixed, our fringe looks great. I'm going to go ahead and finish sewing. So it looks like I didn't need that extra yarn tail over here, which is great. You know, you just want to make sure you got enough. You don't want to run out. So, so I ended up top here. So then I'll just go into the one next to it. And into that front loop. And then go to the one next to it through the front loop. And then through the back loop on the top. Which that happens. That happens sometimes. Here's these knots, so I'm just going to go on the outside of the knot. And then we have some yarn ends to weave in up top, and we'll do that also. And I'm just going to wait, like those extra yarn ends. With this one, I like to close that up a little bit better, but we need to attach our strap. So we want to be able to do that. And then after that, then I will try to weave in our yarn ends. Oops. I'm just going to go like that, leave that there. I don't know if I'll need it. So yeah, you don't want to cut your yarn ends yet. Just move them out of the way. This one, I'm just going to tuck. Like, look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, we just want these out of the way. And then we're going to grab our strap. Make sure we got plenty of room. I'm going to want to try to keep my strap straight. I don't want my strap twisting. And mine is twisted. So yeah, so definitely make sure that your strap is not twisted when you attach. So definitely lay it how you plan on sewing it. That way it doesn't twist on you. So that's the front. So this is my top front chains, and this is my top front chains. That way, actually no. Just lay it out, flatten it. You don't want it twisted. You want it, because you got to think there's 3 sides of chains to this. That way you know. There we go. And actually, you know what? Once you get it right, maybe just go ahead and go through these top chains here, and then, or just hold it like that. There you go. Because if you put a stitch marker in that, I'm just doing this to make it easier for myself, because I don't want it twisted. And I gotta look for another. There we go. Okay. And I know this is my flat front here. I'm just gonna do the same thing. Okay, that's good. All right, so now we'll grab these with our yarn tail, or our yarn needle, I'm sorry. Our yarn tail with the yarn needle. I'm just going to want it. I'm just going to go straight through the middle. And these plastic ones are good, but I tell you what, they eventually break. So if you can get the aluminum ones, those will last you forever. These plastic ones, once you try to squeeze them through, they start to turn white, like this one. You see that? How it's turning white? Right here, that's where it'll snap. I've already had one break on me. They last a long time. You know, it's just that the more you use it, the more Alright, and I guess I'm just going to go back through that middle over a little bit. I'm just going to try my best to attach this as evenly as possible on both sides. I'm just going in and out of those chains and then going back through that center crease where they both meet. And then I have another idea. Go back through. There's this one. Go back through. Sewing needles seem to be so much easier. And then maybe tie these two yarn tails together. Right there. Real tight. That way it's attached in the middle, and then I can just weave these in on the inside and hide them. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I should have made this yarn tail longer. Make sure it's not twisted. Yep, and then that would be in the front. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. But you know what? That's not long. I'm going to use one of these from the one panel. So just do whatever you gotta do to get it all attached as evenly as possible. I know this kind of looks like a mess, but we'll get it all figured out. We will. I'm gonna go through the center here. And then through the center of that strap. And I'm going to go back through the strap. Back to the center again, just like I did before. Strap. And then again. It's hard to kind of push it through both at the same time, so that's why I'm pulling it through one and then the other. So this little tail from the strap, I'm just going to tie these two together and tighten it down. And then I have this yarn tail too. So we have it attached, which is good, on both sides. Now we just got to weave in our yarn ends. So I have this one I need to weave in. I know it looks like a mess, but it'll be fine. It's harder for me to do this standing up with everything flat. That way you can see it well. But if I didn't have the camera going, I would move this in a way that would be easier for me to see. So I'm just trying to keep this laying here, trying to keep this so you all can see it. So really, I just need to weave in and out of some stitches to hide everything. And what might help is when you think you're done, don't clip them all the way down. Clip them probably here. That way all this mess will be out of your way. And then that way you can see if you need to weave it in a little bit better, because that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. Because right now I just kind of, all these long yarn tails look like they're in the way, and sometimes they look a little confusing. So I'm just going to clip all this down a little bit shorter so I can see what I'm doing. Just move all this way. So let's see, this one's already pretty short. I'm just going to cut these down. And these down. That way I can see what I'm doing. Okay. And I'm going to leave it up to you to do yours. and weave in your yarn ends the best you can. So we're just going to lay this flat, pull these down. There we go. Flatten it out a bit. And then you're going to want to cut them the length that you want. So some of my yarn tails are shorter than the other, and that's just because of the way it curves and goes up. I'm going to use a bigger scissors to do this, and I'm just going to go with probably my shorter ones because I don't want it uneven. So right down here. So this one right here is a shorter one. Definitely want these to be even. There we go. And then you can always try to flatten it out. Maybe trim it up just a little bit more on a few. You know, to get it to looking a little bit better. This here, a tad bit too long. And that looks pretty good. I might trim these up just a little bit more, but that's all you need to do. And just remember your options. You can add glue to them. You can always, actually, go this way. Create a knot, but you want your knot, so you want to move your knot down. You see, just lightly. See how it's still kind of loose? You want to move your knot down while it's loose. And then like that. And then you don't have to worry about them, you know, unfringing, basically. Just move your knot down lightly. Like that. That way they'll stay like this. Yeah. All right. So practically that's all that we have to do besides weaving in all these yarn tails on the inside. But other than that, I hope you all really, really liked watching this and making this pattern. And I will see you all again soon with some more great crochet pattern tutorials. Oh, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like it, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and share also. That way other people can learn how to make it too. So thank you all. Bye-bye now. Hi guys, I just wanted to give you all a look at the finished product. So I know those yarn ends were a little frustrating to deal with, but you know, once you weave them in, eliminate them, clip them down, you know, get your straps looking the way that you want, and then once you know, pull these down and add the little knots and stuff, you know, the finished product, it looks amazing. So once you put the time in just to deal with those yarn ends, it's definitely worth it. So um, I will see you guys soon with another crochet project. Bye bye.